soldier of fortune. Gotta walk through a fire for what's important. The warrior's blood through your veins is coursing. Kill for hire, soldier of fortune. The whole world's watching every move. Take your shot, don't act a fool. All you got and all you ever need is one bullet in the chamber. Really needs to take your game, but ain't nobody gonna save you. So what you gonna do? Ain't nobody gonna save you. So what you gonna do? Do or die, you're a mercenary. One of a kind that you're burdened to carry. Go and make them proud, do what's necessary. Oh no, do or die, you're a mercenary. Now the whole world's watching every move. Take your shot, don't act the fool. All you gotta take your game, boy. Ain't nobody gonna save you. So what you gonna do? One bullet in the chamber. Really needs to take your game, boy. Ain't nobody gonna save you. So what you gonna do? Now the whole world's watching every move. Still your heart so much to prove.
If it's Thursday, it's time for Mystic Racing League. Welcome, everybody. I'm Ellis Thomas, joined by Chris Smith in the Slingshot Racing Media booth. Tonight, we're bringing you race number 6 of the MRL season as the Xfinity cars head to the legendary Martinsville Speedway, the paperclip. It's a half-mile short track that's going to deliver close quarters, racing, bump and runs, and a whole lot of fireworks tonight under the lights. Martinsville Speedway, nestled in the Virginia countryside, is one of NASCAR's oldest and most iconic tracks. Opened back in 1947 by H. Clay Earls with seating for just 750 spectators, it's been a cornerstone of the stock car racing scene for decades. In fact, Martinsville is the only track that's been on the NASCAR schedule since its inaugural season back in 1949. Its unique paperclip shape, featuring tight turns and short straightaways, has been a proving ground for legends like Richard Petty, who scored an incredible 15 victories here, more than any other driver in history. Beyond the track, Martinsville and the surrounding Henry County have a rich history rooted in the furniture and textile industry. The area was once known as the sweatshirt capital of the world due to its significant textile production. This industrial heritage has played a vital role in shaping the nearby community and its culture. An interesting feature of Martinsville is the railroad track that runs parallel to the backstretch. This proximity to active rail lines has been a distinctive characteristic of the Speedway. In 2004, as part of a $3 million capital improvement plan, the railroad tracks were relocated to accommodate the expansion and enhancement of the track, including repaving the racetrack and installing soft walls. Another unique aspect of Martinsville is its coveted trophy, the grandfather clock. Since 1964, winners at Martinsville have taken home a pretty distinctive prize, a nod to the region's rich tradition in furniture craftsmanship. Chris, while drivers aren't going to be wearing sweatshirts tonight, there's still going to be lots of perspiration, as these 175 laps around Martinsville is no easy physical feat. Drivers bumping and banging every corner. What are they going to have to do to get out of here with a win and the grandfather clock?
Ellis, it's Martinsville. Beating and banging, bumping and rubbing, that's what it's all about tonight. You got to check your emotions at the door before you roll up into this half-mile paperclip track right here. We got 175 laps around the paperclip, about 95 laps on a tank of fuel, but with the cautions and stage brakes, that should not be an issue at all tonight. 20 cars, gonna be a night filled with action.
It's going to be a lot of action, and we're going to get to that action with some stories to set up the race. But before that, it's time for everyone's favorite Slingshot Racing Media pre-race tradition. Everyone rise and remove your caps if able for the playing of the national anthem. We'll be right back. Back here from Martinsville Speedway, getting ready for race number 6 in the Mystic Racing League season. Slingshot Media, Ellis Thomas and Chris Smith here. Some pre-race stories to set up the race for everyone watching at home. Chris, let's talk about the points right now. It is a big opportunity week for a lot of drivers. Bobby Rafferty really took the big claim on the point standings lead, the championship standing lead last week at COTA with that win on the road course. But big story of the night, he's not here tonight, and that's going to leave a lot of opportunity for Daniel Dow, Christian Barnes, Andrew Shobe, and Adam Holston, the rest of the top 5, to maybe creep back up into it, along with Evan Janik, who's been really fast the past 3 races. So keep a close eye on this. The top 10 are in the playoffs. It's Nathan Nixon in 11th, all the way back, that are looking into the playoffs, and that will become a bigger story as we move further into this season. Chris, let's talk about those other stories for the race. What are you going to have to do to get around here at Martinsville and get that clock? This is a rhythm track. What does rhythm mean if you're in one of these virtual Xfinity cars around a short track like this?
Well, repetition here is very important because, with as short of a lap as it is, how short of a lap time it is, 19 to 20 seconds around here, you find yourself doing the same things over and over and over again, considering both ends of the speedway are also very similar to each other. So getting in a rhythm is very important, and sometimes that's hard here with the amount of cautions that you normally have. So that's a big challenge around this racetrack.
And another big challenge is saving your tires. That fourth story, drivers are going to really be pushing it into the corners, opportunity to maybe make some dive bombs, and with that, you risk heating up that right front. How much do you need to take care of that to make it around here?
Yeah, you definitely have to take care of it. Got to care for that right front. Got to not buzz the right rear on corner exit as well. Got to make sure that you have the right front and rear brake balance as well. That's also going to be really key tonight. A lot of drivers like to dial some rear to it, but what we see sometimes around Martinsville is drivers spinning out on corner entry because they have too much rear brake in it. So that's definitely going to be a key story that we keep our eyes on all night as well.
And hopefully a story we don't have to keep our eyes on, but it's Martinsville. It's under the lights. It's a Saturday night short track special, Chris. Tempers.
Yep.
We're going to have some contact tonight. We talked in pre-race, or before pre-race started, about how difficult it is to get into these corners and not run over each other, especially with 20-plus cars stacked right on top of each other around this short track. If you're in the crew chief spot up on the box, what are you telling your driver if someone gets into their rear bumper early on in this race? You encourage them payback, you tell them to keep it cool.
Yeah, I think I would tell them to keep it cool, but also, you can't let people take advantage of you here. Sometimes people will watch what's happening between you and other drivers and be like, ooh, that's a driver I can really take advantage of. Maybe, squeeze it to the inside of them because maybe they're going to cut me a break. I'm going to try to tell my driver maybe to check their emotions here at the door before they come into the racetrack. But once the race gets going right here, don't make any enemies, but don't let yourself become a piñata basically on the racetrack.
I think there might be a few piñatas tonight. Hopefully, if I'm in it, I want to be the bat and not the piñata. But I think we're going to have some drivers out here who are going to be the piñatas. Chris, best place to be on the track tonight is going to be on that pole. And that brings us to the starting grid here tonight at Martinsville. 175 laps. We got 20 drivers gridding up to take the green flag. On the pole, Christian Barnes. He's been on a hot streak. We're going to talk to him momentarily. Second, Evan Janik, another hot driver in the series right now. Great qualifying effort for Derek Juden, that number 45, starting on the inside of row 2 tonight. In third, Gavin Henson, the 39. He's had some speed the past couple of weeks as well. We'll be starting fourth. Daniel Dow, Chris, started off with 2 wins. He's trying to get back into winning form. He'll have to do it from 5th position tonight. Brandon Willard, we saw him struggle at COTA last week on the road course, but it looks like the struggles are at least in the rearview mirror for tonight. He's starting 6th here. Caleb Hunt will start 7th in the 78. David Moyer alongside him on row 4 in that 47. Joey Beam starting 9th in the 41, along with David Wallace in that 08 starting 10th. It's going to be Joshua Gillen. I know we got some Gillen fans in the chat. He's starting 11th. Robert McKay had a lot of speed last week until problems struck that race car, starting in the 12th position. Adam Holston, he's got a little work to do tonight, starting in that 8 from 13th position. Reggie Kime. It's Kime time. He had a fast car last week, ran inside the top 10 at COTA, starts 14th tonight. Zach White in the 77 will be gridding up 15th. Jacob Cochran 16th in that 84. He showed some speed in practice. Don't let that qualifying time fool you. Alex Pollock will be seeing his heart rate later on in the night. He's starting 17th. Colby Luca starting 18th. Stephen Gill and Devin Lyons starting 19th and 20th, respectively. Chris, let's talk to our pole sitter, Christian Barnes. He's been on a bit of a hot streak lately. We're going to talk about ask him what it's going to take to get the job done tonight. Hey, Christian Barnes, pole sitter. This is Ellis and Chris in the Slingshot booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Christian Barnes, man, you were fast in practice, and you're starting on the pole, which we'll get to, but last 3 races, Phoenix Auto Club and then Circuit of the Americas, 4th, 3rd, and 4th. Here's the thing. Much different track tonight. What's been the key to consistency over the past 3 races for you?
Mostly just surviving. Some of these races can get a little chaotic. Most of the time you'll go through some kind of adversity. You just gotta keep digging and just, in my opinion, just try to stay up front, qualify up front, because once you get to the back, it's way more chaotic.
Well, you don't want to be at the back tonight, and you don't have to worry about that. You're going to be starting up front. What's it going to take to get the job done here at the most different track we've raced on so far this season?
Just not making mistakes, such as going off your road, not speeding, taking the right lines on the restart, and just no mistakes.
All right, man. We'll be watching you. Hopefully, no mistakes are the story of the night for Christian Barnes in that 27. Go get him, man. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. All right, so you heard from Christian Barnes there, Chris. If you're his crew chief, you got any last-minute words for him or any of the other drivers tonight before we get ready to take the green in just about a lap and a half?
Well, we're definitely going to be seeing some fenders fly off of these vehicles tonight, but I don't want that to happen maybe in the first stage, second stage of this race. Maybe want to save some of that contact towards the end. You know, it is Martinsville. It's just a reality of this place right here. I mean, look at this track. There's going to be contact tonight. But, you know, if we can somehow maybe make it through the opening stages of this race, keeping all the fenders intact, you know, we might set ourselves up for a good finish tonight. And sometimes this race can turn into just a battle of attrition. So that's something also to keep our eyes on, too, is if we do have a lot of cautions, just keeping it clean here.
Clean is hopefully the goal of the night. Hey, couple chatters, Connor Lyons, Big Jim, Alex Pollock, Camden Luca. Thanks for joining the chat. Connor asking, are we doing the Dale Earnhardt giveaway? Bad news, Connor, we already did it. You didn't win, but there is a chance to win a Noah Gragson diecast with some trivia, which we're going to play later on tonight. But right now, it's all about that front row. It's going to be Christian Barnes looking for the green flag from the flagman. There it is, green flag underway. Race number 6 of the MRL season begins. Janik has just a little bit of trouble getting off the line. He's on that outside, and that black and red number 71. Jewett on the inside in the 45 looking for that position. A couple drivers wash up early on in the going, but right now everyone is clean and green, at least for the first half. 27 Barnes almost gets into the back of the 71. I saw the 39 also of Gavin Henson. A little bit squirrely back there, but drivers getting it gathered back up right now. Chris, they're headed down into turn 1 and 2.
Yes, they are, and we have had a little bit of a, looks like we have had a crash here, so we're going to get back going as soon as we can here. Apologize for that, folks.
We'll call the action all the way while you're working on it right now. Radio-style Janik sideways off the corner, almost into the wall down from the front straightaway. It's going to force Christian Barnes with an uncomfortable line right into the corner. Jewett's going to take advantage. We've got a caution out on the track right now. Caleb Hunt is the car that is sideways down the back straightaway into turns 1 and 2. Right now, we are still clean and green. No yellow flag is flown on the speedway. Caleb Hunt gets it gathered back up. I believe that was also Joey Beam driving that High Rock car involved in the incident. Right now, drivers are still going underway for the first time tonight. Lap number 4 of 175, and folks, they are going to go by fast. Top 5 as they run. It's Christian Barnes, Derek Jewett, Evan Janik, Daniel Dow, Gavin Henson. It's really right now a 6-car breakaway all the way back to Adam Holston in that 08 car tonight. Actually, it's a 5-car breakaway, I should say. The High Rock car of Joey Beam is about to go a lap down. And right now, just looking through the field, David Wallace in the wall, the 08 sideways, driver's side into the wall, 1 car into him, the 54 also brings the caution out. Devin Lyons hits the 80, who was trying to get it turned around on the track. We are under caution for the first time tonight, lap number 6. And that was an incident that started with the 80. We're going to go try to take a look back at this and see what happened to David Wallace. I know we're still having some video issues right now, but we're going to try to see what brought that caution out. It looked like the 08 just went a little bit too hard into the corner, got sideways and just driver's side into the wall in turns 1 and 2. And then one car, I believe that was the 54 of Devin Lyons, was running that high line, just came and made contact with him. Didn't see that 80 getting ready to come down the track and get it going again. I don't think we're going to see anyone come down pit road here this early on in the going. Fresh tires are important, but with only 6 laps, I don't think any of these drivers have anything to worry about. Chris, I think we might have gotten it back going. Are you there? Are you alive?
I'm here. We're gonna get all of our cameras going here so everybody can see the best action possible. Yeah, I apologize for that. We never lost internet connection, but for some reason the sim crashed, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
If it's not one thing, it's another, right? Hey, Kit joining the chat. Appreciate you tuning in, Kit. We appreciate it, and we're going to get this thing regridded. 7 laps in, now 8 laps in after that 2-car caution. We had some action going on, a couple spins, but no caution until contact between Devin Lyons and David Wallace after a David Wallace spin. Hey, we are going to do some trivia tonight. We're going to get that cranking here in just a little bit. 4 questions, and you'll have the opportunity to answer those questions. And the first 2 correct answers will get trivia points for the night. And the chatter with the most trivia points at the end of the night is going to take home free Noah Gragson Wendy's diecast. Chris, are you a Wendy's fan?
Yeah, I think I'm all right with it sometimes. I think the biggie bag is a really sweet deal. It's hard to beat that amount of food for that low of a price.
It really is. What, are we still at $5 for the biggie bag? I don't even know.
I think so. I think you're right. Yeah,
Right now, these drivers are, they might be hungry for Wendy's, but they're definitely got some hungry drivers for the win. Stephen Gill also in the chat. Appreciate you tuning in, Steve. Look forward to seeing you on the track the next race. I think we might be getting ready here. They're lining them up. I feel like we're getting ready for a restart. Lights are off on the pace car. It's going to be the same start as last time. Christian Barnes in that silver and blue 27. Evan Janik in the black and blue number 71. One car drops out for just a second. That's Holston. It's going to be on Christian Barnes to take the green when he chooses inside that Geico restart zone. And we are underway for the second time tonight. Christian Barnes leads him off into the corner. Doesn't get too good of a run off the starting line, but Evan Janik going to capitalize with a outside run off of turn 2. Janik in that black and blue number 71. Chris, just watching these drivers roll around. We got cars inside, cars outside. If you're driving right now, I know the answer, but to the fans at home, where do you want to be if you're a driver as we watch a couple cars choose different lines tonight?
Yeah, I think I definitely want to be on the bottom. I want to be on that curb, and I think the curb will be a big story all night as we see Evan Janik is going to clear Christian Barnes right here exiting turn 4. I want to be around that red and white curb down on the bottom. Don't want to hit the curb because it will upset that car. But I want to try to root my way inside there. I do hear some contact.
Eric Jewett gets upset. The 45 might have had a little bit of contact. It's going to allow Daniel Dow to kind of get right up underneath him. Dow runs him up the track about a lane. Jewett out of the groove. He's going to lose a spot also to Adam Holston, who's going to take over the 4th position. Derek Jewett's got to be careful to get back in line because he's going to have Jacob Cochran and Gavin Henson right behind him. He does find a hole, fortunately for the driver of that number 45. He's good to go for now. Right now, the best car on the track appears to be Evan Janik, who's got a lot of center roll speed right now. That 71, little bit of a diamond pattern, just maybe a mini diamond off the corner. Chris entering in just a little bit higher and kind of riding it down through the corner on exit. You can see him do that right here.
Yeah, he's definitely got that. He's got that launch speed definitely figured out right here with that line that you mentioned, Ellis. He's not wrapping the red and white curve down there. He's choosing to, like you said, sort of diamond it and make that straightaway a little bit longer to try to increase that exit speed and straightaway speed, and it's working really well for him.
one thing I've noticed just early on as we kind of work our way through a couple close battles, Derek Jewett working his way back underneath Adam Holston right now. Adam Holston looking like he might be in a world of hurt. Off the wall a little bit, off of turn 2 down the back straightaway. That 08 right now is in, sorry, the 8 is in 6th position. I've noticed a couple drivers, including that 8 as well as the 12 of Brandon Willard, Chris, they kind of enter in low, they push up, and then they fight their way back down. What's that doing to those tires?
Yeah, that might wear that right front out a little bit more. It might cause, a little bit of heat generation right there. We see the 84 right here of Jacob Cochran. He was off the bottom of the track right there. Yeah, it just causes you to maybe jerk that wheel a little bit more to, maybe get that car back to the bottom, and it does heat that right front up. So that's something that you definitely have to be careful of, as here comes Cochran to the inside of Derek Jewett right here, trying to make the pass right here for the 4th spot, and Jacob Cochran on the move, Ellis.
Yeah, that 84 car is a fast car right now. Cochran up to the 4th position after starting 12th up. I don't even believe the numbers I'm seeing. Started 16th. He's up 12 positions. You called it, Chris. That 84, what kind of paint scheme we got going on there? Is that a Ghost Energy paint scheme?
Yeah, I see Ghost and I see Swedish Fish on it as well, which I'm a big fan of. So, I'll be keeping my eyes on this car.
Is there a Swedish Fish Ghost Energy drink? Because I might be all on that.
I don't know.
If that is an actual thing. Right now, he's making it look good. He might have some of that Ghost Energy pumping through his veins. And, Chris, I do want to do a quick check-in with Alex Pollock.
Looks like
trouble on the racetrack. Caleb Hunt.
No caution.
Seen that 78 car struggle just a little bit tonight. Let's see if we can't find out what happened to the 78.
Yeah, we'll go back right here.
Just cooked it.
Yeah,
just cooked it into the corner. We've seen that happen to a couple drivers. That's what happened to David Wallace earlier on in the race.
Yeah, and that's going to be they're not going to be the last ones to do that either tonight. That's definitely going to be something to keep our eyes on here. And a lot of drivers want to maybe dial a little bit of rear brake to their vehicles here. I think we got some, it's like Robert McKay off the pace right here in that 88 machine. He's got some damage to the rear bumper of this thing right here, but no caution here. We'll keep our eyes on these cars on corner entry to see who has dialed that rear brake to their vehicles.
And you'll definitely be able to see it. Hey, Aaron Smith in the chat. He said, we're chilling. Scale back my sim racing schedule to make some real racing happen. He's doing 4 nights a week, he says. How do you do 4 nights a week of sim racing?
Really scaled back there, Aaron.
Right? What were you doing before, man? Let us know what the story is with the real life racing right now as we watch lap number 26 of 175.
Oh, there goes Derek Jewett around.
One car sideways. The 45. Jewett, he's in trouble. He's going to slide it Blues Brothers style into the corner. Turns number 2. Looks like he's going to get it going, but he's going to lose several spots to David Moyer, Gavin Henson, Alex Pollock's going to get around, and I have a feeling, Chris, that 45 might have just cooked it, as you see there, through the corner.
That was a good recovery, though, for him, though. Didn't hit the wall, really no damage. Nice recovery.
It's just a drift competition for Derek Jewett, man. He made it look easy. There might as well have been a little Coke bottle sitting on the ledge there of turn number 2. Look at that. That could have been a drift competition. That would have been a 10 out of 10 for me. And he's back after it right now in that 45. Chasing back down Colby Luca in the 5. 2 cars in front of him. It's the 92, Chris, of Alex Pollock. I was going to ask, can we get a check on that heart rate monitor for the driver of the number 92? See if that blood's flowing in that Slush Puppy car. I got to say Slush Puppies one more time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 117 beats per minute. So, yeah, you're working around here, Ellis. This is not an easy lap when you're by yourself or if you're in traffic.
Yeah, that Alex Paul, it's a good, I just love a good purple paint scheme. I think I see it every time I see one, but that metallic flake texture, whatever you want to call it, spec map, chef's kiss as we watch right behind them, Chris. Oh, he's going to get in that 47. Alex Pollock and David Moyer got a little good battle going on here, right on board with David Moyer. Not the view you want to see out of the mirror if you're Moyer, but Alex Pollock rolling that bottom pretty good. Moyer struggling to get off the corner that time, headed to the line. They're down into one, side by side. Pollock's going to take that position. Moyer's going to ride the high line. He's going to give it up. He's going to try to probably get back down in front of Derek Jewett. That 47 looks like he might be struggling to get off the corner now, Chris. Our tires starting to potentially play a factor here 32 laps into this run.
It could, and it could also be just rhythm in general. Like you said before in the pre-race, Ellis, this is a rhythm track right here as we see the one car getting around the 77 right here, Zach White, getting passed by Beam, Joey Beam, that is. And, yeah, it could be that also, Will. It's just heating up that right front a little bit more. Maybe they've cooked that right front a little bit on corner entry, locking up the brakes. We see the 77 right here of Zach White. You can start to see those brake rotors glow on corner entry on that 77 machine.
Yeah, and that is the danger. When those brakes heat up, the tires heat up. Jewett really in trouble, Chris. He's going a lap down. Jewett did start the race in a pretty good position tonight inside the top 4. And, yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. Jewett definitely did struggle with a spin on the front straightaway, it looked like.
Yeah, just a little bit of trouble right there off the exit of 4. And, yeah, unfortunately that has put him a lap down right here as Christian Barnes has worked his way around him. Also, Caleb Hunt. I think Caleb Hunt also a lap down. So those drivers right now are battling for the lucky dog spot.
Good little battle going on right around there, Chris. Reggie Kime, this is a battle for the 12th position. Kime trying to work on Robert McKay, and Robert McKay in his own battle coming up on the back of Brandon Willard as they all are right in front of Evan Janik, Chris, the leader right now. Have to sift through some pretty heavy lap traffic. Janik working the inside. Robert McKay's taking that line right in front of him, though. He's going to try to slip under McKay. McKay just holds his line off the corner. If you're Janik, how nervous are you right now?
Very nervous, yeah. Lap traffic around Martinsville is no joke. It is very nerve-wracking. You got to run so close together. And like I said before, Ellis, it's hard. Oh, and there was almost contact there between the two. It's hard not to run into people here sometimes.
Absolutely. The 8 off the wall just a little bit. Right now, it's 37, now 38 laps have elapsed here at the Martinsville Speedway. Your top 5 as they run: Evan Janik, Christian Barnes, Jacob Cochran, one of the fastest cars on the track in that 84. Daniel Dow up to the 4th position. Gavin Henson 5th in 39. And you mentioned it, Chris. These cars are starting to catch each other. Lap traffic is starting to play a factor in this battle for the 11th position. Continues chewing in the 78 of Caleb Hunt. Hunt around in turn number 2.
Multiple cars.
4, 5 cars. A chain reaction crash brings out the yellow on lap 39 of 175 tonight. And boy, Chris, I don't know where to look at. A couple things happened there. The first thing I saw was Derek Jewett.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. He got into it with the 1. I believe that's the 41 of Joey Beam. His car is not labeled as such. In fact, I think he got a black flag for not having the right number on his car last week. Hopefully he gets that fixed. Oh, boy. Yeah, you mentioned it. The 45 kind of slammed into the 12 of Brandon Willard coming back up on the track to try to get it corrected after that caution, Chris. And I think we got a lot of drivers who are in massive trouble here after this lap 39 crash. Let's see if there were several incidents.
Yeah, right here we see it looks like the 45 slid in there just a little bit too hot. Gets into Caleb Hunt. Caleb gets turned around right there in the 78. Let's see if we can find, so that was one incident going on. This is a different incident. Looks like Robert McKay as well as the 12 of Brandon Willard get together right here off of turn 2. That's a totally separate incident that I don't think had anything to do with the initial crash. But they crash right here. There's Joey Beam going head on into the wall right there. I hate to rewind, keep on doing this, but there's just so much happening right here. I can't help it. And we can see Beams trying to scoot by on the inside right there. And unfortunately, I don't think Derek Jewett knew that he was coming hard on the inside right there and just collects that one High Rock Vodka Chevrolet into the wall.
Yeah, a couple cars are going to be casualties of that lap 39 wreck. And Chris, I do think we're probably going to see pit stops if 40 laps in. We think we're about a little under halfway through a fuel run here. Drivers got plenty of sets of tires, 3 sets in the pits tonight. I think if I'm Janik, but I guess maybe they've got different thoughts. Looking through right now, the top 9 have not pit, and I think
they probably
pit road
want those
has
stage
been
points.
open. Yeah, I think you're right because we're just about 9 laps away from the end of stage number 1. Top 5 drivers will take stage points to add to their total in the championship standings, and I think that's a great point. Janik, Barnes, Pollock, Cochran, Dow, that top 5, they want those points. They don't want to give that up. That is a massive benefit, especially as the season winds on and those points become even more important. Right now, they're going to have about 7 laps to settle this, Chris. 7-lap shootout here for the stage points. Pace car getting ready to pull off. It's going to allow Evan Janik and Alex Pollock, who's climbed up to second position with that crash earlier, is going to be on the outside. See if he can't get a few points here. Watching that heart rate monitor on the top right. Expect that thing to climb. Janik gets a great launch. Pollock does not get as good of a launch. He's holding up that top line 3 wide into the corner back in 4th and 5th. Evan Janik gets away cleanly. Holston slides up the track in front of Brandon Willard. Christian Barnes is going to take advantage of Alex Pollock's trouble on the restart. He's going to slide back into second. Pollock is third. Meanwhile, third is Jacob Cochran. Fourth now, I should say. He's going to try to look underneath the 92 of Alex Pollock. Daniel Dow also in the mix, Chris. This is a lot of cars on top of each other. One of our favorite sayings, or DW's favorite saying, is cautions breed cautions.
Yep.
And I think we might be getting ready to see that Daniel Dow slides up the track just a little bit. That's good, clean racing right now between him and Adam Holston. That's a battle for the 6th position. Dow in that blue and white number 2, Adam Holston in that purple and white number 8. Dow's going to get the better of that battle. Now Holston's going to have to worry about Gavin Hinson in that 39 right underneath him. Holston almost in the back bumper of Daniel Dow there. Good close racing right now, just 4 laps left. Janik's got control of the lead, but it is a battle to see who can get into the top 5. There's a move right in front of them. Jacob Cochran looking to the inside of Alex Pollock. He's on the outside. He's going to have to be careful not to lose that position to Colby Luca, who's got the run off the corner right now. 2 laps, now 3 laps, I should say, to go in stage 1. Chris, these hands moving all over the place. Alex Pollock really working those hands, trying to stay in front of Colby Luca.
Oh, there goes Pollock around.
Oh, Pollock around. Can he save it? I think we're going to see the green flag stay out pending no one runs into him. Everyone stays out of trouble as 2 more cars work their way by to the inside. We are looking clean and green. Just a lap and a half left in stage number 1 of race number 6 for Mystic Racing League. Janik's got Barnes and Cochran right behind him. Top 3 separated by about 4 car lengths between each one of those drivers. White flag coming out for stage number 1. Janik looks to have it under control. Christian Barnes and Jacob Cochran just trying to close out this stage with a podium finish and get those points. And there it is. Yellow flag is out to mark the end of stage number 1. And I think, Chris, this is where we're going to see pit stops. And really, I think, the first time since Phoenix, we're talking about pit stops playing a very, very, very important role here in terms of just how difficult track position is to obtain at a short track such as Martinsville. And the pits are open. Let's watch this set of caution flag pit stops to end stage number 1. It's going to be Janik, Barnes, and Cochran leading them down. All drivers going to have to be careful not to slide into their pit boxes as they come to the attention of their crew right now. Probably telling their crew chiefs they need some new tires. Handling has gone away, and you've seen that with just several crashes in the last 20 laps or so. It's a long pit road here, Chris.
It is. And Evan Janik's all the way around here in the corner. Also, Christian Barnes is as well. I heard some contact right there, and contact on pit road here at Martinsville is not unheard of by any means. We're going to see who wins this battle off pit road.
Yep, and looks like it's going to be Evan Janik getting off just slightly ahead of Christian Barnes. Might be an issue there on the 27, maybe not. Looks like the 84 of Jacob Cochran's going to beat him off. It's going to be Barnes, then Dow, and then Colby Luca, I believe, rounding out the top 5. Chris, one car stayed on the track. That's the 10 of Joshua Gillen, but he has entered pit road now. So he will not start in the lead. I think he's probably glad of that, as are the drivers behind him, as we see that battle off pit road. The 10, the 71, and the 84 going to be your top 3. I should say the 10. Sorry, Gillen was marked as on pit road leading the race, but he is he's given up that position. Chris, I think while we got some caution laps, let's go ahead. Let's play some trivia. Let's put that first trivia question up on the board tonight. First 2 correct answers in the chat are going to get the trivia points. Most trivia points at the end of the night is going to take home a Noah Gragson diecast. All right. Question number 1. In which county is Martinsville Speedway? Is it Henry County, Martinsville County, Patrick County, or Southampton County? Let us know what you think the correct answer is in the chat. We might have already said it, by the way. If you're listening to our opening cold intro, cold open, you know the answer to this question. We'll leave it up on the board for just a little bit. And over the night, that leaderboard will change with the points leaders in terms of who's answered the most trivia questions correct. Go ahead and type your answers in the chat. Connor Lyons says Southampton County. Looks like we got a Henry County. We got a Martinsville County. Try to let us know what county it is because we don't have letter choices here. I'm assuming Henry would be A, maybe Patrick would be B, Martinsville would be C, and Southampton would be D. That's what we'll go with here. A couple answers in the chat right now. Let us know what you think. Correct answer is, right now we're getting gridded up for a restart. Leave that up just for another lap or two after we take the green. Evan Janik on that inside, black and blue, getting ready for the restart here. Pace car's in, waiting for that Geico restart zone to mash the throttle. He goes early. Look at the launch Janik gets. He's been a master of restarts tonight. Jacob Cochran follows suit right down on the inside of the corner. A little bit of contact there. The 27 gets a back bumper full of Adam Holston. We're clean and green so far. Lap 56 begins stage 2. Dow into the side of the 27, Chris. I've noticed that Dow has not been afraid to use that right side of his car multiple times tonight. I think you can do that so long until the drivers you're racing start to tire one car sideways. That might
Holston,
be Reggie Kahn, Brandon Willard as well. Multiple cars go around here. Barnes, the 27, we saw that trouble start just a lap ago. Green flag still out. Half a lap away are the leaders. They're coming through the corner now. Green flag now. The yellow is thrown by race control.
I think that's a good call.
Yeah, that was a good call. I think you're right.
Yeah, just because things got a little bit jumbled up right there. They were coming up on some little slower cars, and I think that was definitely a good move.
I think it was a good move. Absolutely. We're going to try to get a good look at what happened here to Christian Barnes. And it started half a lap earlier than that, Chris, with his contact with Daniel Dow that ran him up the track, got him out of the groove, and put him in that position. And that was the 39, I believe, of Gavin Henson underneath him.
Yeah, they were three
Trouble
wide
kind of
there.
going on already, yeah.
Yeah, they were 3 wide there momentarily. And you know, it's just with that 8 car up the hill right there, that's Adam Holston. Looks like Christian Barnes was just trying to fill that gap. And man, you just run out of room so fast here at Martinsville. Nothing really anybody did wrong. They just ran out of space there.
And 3 wide is incredibly tough to pull off. Hey, while we got the chance, I think it might be a good time to put that trivia question up.
Yeah,
question one more time. Got several answers in the chat right now. We're going to go ahead and give away the answer in about 30 seconds or so. We'll let any last minute guesses in the chat. We got pretty much everyone's guessed everything at this point, Chris.
Yeah, I think they have. Are we ready to see?
Yeah, I think so. Let's pull up the correct answer here for the trivia question. It is Henry County. That is the county that Martinsville Speedway is located in, Henry County. The winners for that trivia question are going to be Aaron Smith and Lions Racing. Aaron Smith and Lions Racing both scoring a point on the leaderboard. We'll update that real quick as we watch these cars. I don't think we're going to have any cars coming in the pit stalls tonight right now during this caution, at least in the top 10 or so. So we'll keep an eye out on that as they work their way around the track, continuing to pace under caution after a multi-car crash here put us under caution for the second time tonight on lap 61 of 175. Right now, leaderboard will update at least the next time around. Henry County is the correct answer. 3 more questions left, so if you didn't get it in that time, you got 3 more opportunities to get some trivia points on the board. Restart coming in about... Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but one thing to keep our eyes on all night tonight is the choose. I think the first 5 drivers tonight, right there, especially on this, maybe the first 4, all took the inside. So Gavin Henson going to have quite the jump up here to the second spot.
Yeah, massive position gain for Gavin Henson. And Chris, he's going to need that. Auto Club Speedway finished 5th 2 weeks ago, 17th at Circuit of the Americas last week. So he needs a rebound tonight. Working on it on the outside is Gavin Henson. Getting ready to come to the line. Janik, seeing if he can get a good launch on that restart like last time. Waited a little bit longer. Snooker the rest of the field gets a good restart. Henson's going to have to deal with Jacob Cochran in that white or yellow and blue, number 84. Henson on top. Holston thinking about taking a line on the inside there, trying to make it 3 wide. Daniel Dow, that blue and white car in 4th position, lurks underneath Henson. Henson up the track, really struggled on entry. He's going to have to arc it down to stay out of the wall. He's going to lose that position to Adam Holston as well there, Chris. And Gavin Luca is going to be the beneficiary of the issues that Henson had as well. Top 4 now all the way back to top 10, single file, I believe the closest race we have going on track. So we watch Alex Polick roll around behind Gavin Henson. That heart rate climbed just a little bit on that restart, Chris, with Alex Polick. And Chris, I know people may be watching, some of you might know this, but what's that flame coming out of the right side of that car when these cars enter into the corner for folks watching at home?
Yeah, that's just raw fuel in the exhaust right there. And what we see right there, when we see those drivers that are, when we see that flame come out of the exhaust, that means that they're off the throttle. That's coast time. And you see that a lot here at Martinsville. Sometimes you'll also see it as they pick the throttle back up, as maybe they feather the gas in the center of the corner. A lot of roll speed here at Martinsville, Ellis. We might have a chance a little bit later on if we get, some clean green laps here to ride on board with somebody and maybe listen to that roll speed in the center of the corner. You're hard on the brakes, and then you spend a lot of time just not even on the throttle or the brakes, just kind of coasting in the center of the corner here.
And I really think what makes short track masters so good is their throttle control through the corners. And one driver, as we watch Daniel Dow in that number 2 getting worked over by Adam Holston here in the 3rd position, I've noticed Dow have a lot of trouble keeping it down over the course of the night, and we can see that repeat itself here. Is that intentional, or is that just maybe driving a little bit too hard into the corner? Is there any way to tell unless you're in that cockpit?
Yeah, it's just hard to say, and maybe he doesn't feel very comfortable trying to, get around the, run as close to that curbing as possible. Maybe he just feels a little bit better, leaving a little bit of gap as his guys are going to work around the lap machine right here of Reggie Kime. And sometimes just, that thing just won't turn on corner entry, but he might not want to put some rear brake to it because maybe it just upsets the balance of that thing, under braking.
And right now, hey, he's in 3rd position. He's making it work. He's running laps as fast, just a little bit off the lead, but still maintaining that 3rd position. He's pulled away from Adam Holston in the past couple laps. And Chris, right now, a lot of single file racing going on the speedway. One car off the wall, just a little bit of contact. They're looking through the rest of the field. Looks like we got a potential battle brewing back in the 13th position. Joshua Gillen running up on the back bumper of Zach White in that patriotic red, white, and blue machine. Gillen in the orange number 10. We are riding on board right now. He is going hard in that corner on the outside, and he's going to pay the price on exit. Gillen to the wall, down the back straightaway. Maybe a little bit too much heat in those tires off the corner in turn 2. He's going to have to wait a couple laps if he's going to get back up to the back bumper of the number 77. What happened there, Chris, based on what we were seeing?
Yeah, it just seemed like maybe he charged the corner a little bit too much, and unfortunately I think we're about to have another sim crash here. So we'll see if we can get back as soon as possible.
Yep.
To the action.
Absolutely. We'll call it radio style. Until then, lap 74 of 175 in the books. We are approaching the halfway point in just about 10 laps or so. Evan Janik remains your leader. He crosses the line with about 10 car lengths back. It's Jacob Cochran who is closing the lead ever so slightly. Cochran's been running laps just on the same tick as Evan Janik. Blow for blow, those 2 leaders have been the fastest cars all night. You have to go back about 10 car lengths to find Daniel Dow in the 3rd position. Then it's the bright purple machine of Adam Holston. 1 car off the wall, that was Alex Polick. Outside of turn 4, Pollock grabs the wall, keeps it going. That heart rate continues to climb for Pollock, and just several cars right on top of each other right now. Robert McKay has his hands full back in 10th position with Christian Barnes. Crashed earlier, trying to work his way up through the field. That's your pole sitter who started in the first position tonight, crossing the line. He's in 11th, trying to just work his way back into the top 10 at this point is Christian Barnes. We mentioned it, 4th, 3rd, and 4th. Over the past 3 weeks, Barnes has been working hard, and he's going to have to work even harder tonight as he looks to slam into the back bumper of that 88. He's careful to avoid it, at least for now. Shows a nose that 27 does into turn 1. Doesn't get the momentum to pull off the pass that time by. He's going to have to stick to the 11th position. Right now, Evan Janik continues to open a lead on Jacob Cochran, the second fastest car on the track. That time by, I'm looking to see if there was anyone faster on the speed chart. I can't find a soul. Janik has the field covered, at least on lap 80 right now. Looking through the rest of the field, close battle. Derek Jewett working his way, trying to work his way past David Moyer in that 47. Working his way by Alex Pollock in that number 92. They're coming up on the back of David Moyer in the 47, who's working over Colby Luca right now. And that Air Force machine, they head down the back stretch right now. It's Luca by about a car length over David Moyer. That's a battle for the 7th position. We're slowly getting things back up and running. Chris, you're doing good work. I'm just keep on going. You're doing awesome. You're having to work overtime tonight right now. Lap 81 of 175. Evan Janik leading the way. No problem. He's got the field covered by a second right now. Derek Jewett watching him roll around in front of Alex Pollock. Jewett trying to get back up to the back bumper of David Moyer. We saw Jewett start 3rd tonight. Ran into some trouble early on, but he's done an admirable job working his way back up into the top 10, up into the 8th position right now. If you're watching in the chat, it looks like we're back live.
Yep.
Appreciate everyone joining and bearing with us through some technical difficulties. Steve Gill, thanks for subscribing, man. We're going to be doing a little bit more trivia here shortly. See if you can't win a diecast. Chris Connor says crank it up on lap 85, and I think that might be a good idea. Give you a quick little,
see if we can do that.
Quick little break, maybe. Yeah, we'll wait another lap or so. We'll take some trackside cams. By the way, these cams are from Whiplash Sim Cams. You can find their link in our video description if you're looking to record your own races or maybe take some awesome looking screenshots. Whiplash SimCams has what you need for every single track on the NASCAR schedule. With that, let's crank it up, Connor. Oh, the 47. Yeah, 47. That was David Moyer hard into the wall. One other car looked like he collected them. We're going to be under caution here for the 4th time tonight. Trying to see what happened there. We'll go back and look at a replay and return to the scene of the crime. Looks like Reggie Kime might have gotten involved in that as well.
Yeah, we'll see if we can go back right here. I'm hoping that our...
Oh, those were 2 separate wrecks, actually.
Yeah, I saw Kime turn around in our speed shot there when we were cranked up there. Looks like Kime... Yeah, it looks like he got sideways right here in front of the 77. Oh, yeah, and it just slid right down in front of him, and then tried
47,
to roll.
Yep. 47 kind of had 2 near misses there. The 47 right before that, Chris, was sideways in the corner, came off the corner up high, and almost got into Kime after that spin, right?
Few drivers had really close calls right there with Reggie Kime spun around backwards right there off of turn 4.
And we are about 10 laps. Chris, this is almost identical scenario to last time. These drivers got to be just shaking their heads right now. Do you stay out? Do you come and get tires? We're 12 laps away from the end of stage 2. Another opportunity to win stage points and build some point gaps in the standings. And those are going to become ever more important as the season winds on. Right now, Jacob Cochran, Chris, I'm not sure. Had Jacob Cochran hadn't taken the lead there, had he? What happened with Evan Janik and Jacob Cochran? We didn't miss a pit stop. They've already been in only once.
The only thing I can imagine, unless, and it seems like we did miss something, but maybe Evan Janik had to slow up to miss the crash right there. Or to try to safely avoid contact, and maybe because it seemed like there was a slight delay before there was the caution flag, so maybe Jacob Cochran was able to work his way around him in that deal. So Jacob Cochran, I think is the only one that has been able to run close, in speed with Evan Janik tonight. So I'm gonna be curious here on the choose here with just a few laps to go before the stage break. What does Evan Janik decide to do? Does he play it safe and go to the bottom? Or does he decide to take the top? I think he's going to take the top here, Ellis.
He's going to take the top. Interesting call for Evan Janik, but that shows you he's got the confidence in his speed.
Yep.
And hey, one thing I do want to point out, I found out what happened to Janik. Reggie Kime actually wrecked a lap before that. Same corner, got into the wall, didn't turn it around 180 degrees, but did cause an issue where Evan Janik had to avoid it, slow down, just like you had mentioned, and Jacob Cochran was able to work his way back by, which is why he's on the inside as the leader and watching that pace car pull off right in front of him. This is going to be a 9-lap shootout, almost identical situation at the end of stage 1. We're getting ready to tee off the end of stage 2 here right now. That yellow and blue machine looking for his restart zone. He finds it. Cochran brings us back under green flag conditions. Tonight, 8 laps left in the stage. Janik in that black and blue car to the outside. Can he get a roll? Can he get a run off of turn 2? He does, but he's got Daniel Dow, that white and blue machine, down to his inside. Janik high up the track. He's going to have to lift off the throttle, dime in the corner, but it's going to cost him at least 2 positions. Holston's going to get underneath him and take advantage of that slip up. Just now, 8 laps left in this stage. Daniel Dow sets his sights on the leader, Jacob Cochran, who's got a pep in his step here after getting the lead just about 2 laps before that caution flagged wave. Chris, Evan Janik's got a handful right now in that car right behind these guys. Grabbed the wall off that corner just a little bit, but great battle for the lead right now. Daniel Dow looks to have as much speed, if not more, than that blue and yellow car, Jacob Cochran of the 84. Right in front of him, 2 different lines, Chris. I'm looking like Daniel Dow might be sliding it up and then diming it back down in the corner. It looks like that 84 is able to maintain and wrap that bottom pretty much the entire time.
Yeah, it does. Just a couple different approaches right there. And Evan Janik right behind Daniel Dow, looking to maybe grab that spot back before the end of the stage, maybe grab a stage point right here. Yeah, good launch right there from the 84 of Cochran off of turn 4. Look at Dow. He's driving it in real deep, and that's why he's missing the bottom a little bit there, I think.
Yeah, that 2 is being really aggressive into the corners. We've seen it all night long. Has had his issues staying on the bottom of the track. You can see that's just a sign of how badly these tires are worn in right now. Losing about 4 car lengths in one corner. He's going to have to be careful or Janik's going to get back by him. Just 4 laps left, Chris, in this stage. Right now we remain under green flag conditions. 1 car sideways off of turn 2. Derek Jewett, he had to give up a couple positions on that one. He's had a fun adventure tonight a couple times. Jewett in that 45, Chris, watching him roll around, trying to hold off the number 78 of Caleb Hunt. That's a battle for the 11th position. It's still about 5-6 car lengths separating Jacob Cochran, the leader, from Daniel Dow in second. Dow just trying to do what he can to hold off Evan Janik underneath. Can he get the run? He shows the nose down into 1. This should be the white flag lap. Coming to lap 100 to end stage number 2. Janik on the inside in the black and blue machine. Daniel Dow on the outside in that white and blue machine. Janik shoves it down into the corner, throws a haymaker against Dow, who can't do anything to stave it off, and it looks like Cochran's going to walk away with the stage win, followed by Evan Janik, Daniel Dow, Adam Holston. not sure they might bring it out here at the end of this lap. They brought it out a little bit early last time, Chris. So I think we're going to wait here for the top 5 to cross the line on lap 100. Janik not going to be able to get the job done. Cochran is going to win this stage. Janik will get stage 2 or position 2 stage points. Daniel Dow will get points for 3rd. Adam Holston will get points for 4th. Colby Luca will get points for 5th. I thought I heard one car in the wall there, Chris. That was not a noise that anyone likes to hear.
Not at all.
Okay, I wasn't the only one who heard that.
No, I heard it as well, but never did see who it came from. But
I'm looking around. I don't see any obvious culprits, but we are under caution, and we are going to get a set of green flag pit stops here. Maybe the biggest moment of the race. It very well could be the last set of pit stops tonight. Who will get the best track position? Cochran is going to lead him down pit road, Chris, but he's got, I don't know if this is a benefit or not, he's got an early pit stall here, the earliest amongst the leaders after qualifying in the 16th position. He's going to have a lot of speed to carry off the pit road and won't have to worry necessarily about how quickly he can get out of his pits. That's it. Maybe a bit of an advantage, but also it's a double-edged sword as we watch Evan Janik roll by him along with Daniel Dow. They're coming to the attention of their pit crew. Got to be careful not to slide it here. If you're Evan Janik.
Definitely do, especially maybe with as much rear brake as you have in your car here tonight, as Derek Jewett looks like he's going to get into his pit stall as well. Here comes the 84 around the turn right here, and
big battle. He cuts in front of him. Janik's going to reclaim the lead with a bit of an aggressive move off of pit road, but all's fair and rubbing is racing, Chris. Lap 103. That means just 72 laps left in this race. Janik did what he had to do. Great battle off pit road.
Yeah, it was, and great job getting into his stall. Great job getting off. You can definitely, the driver can do a lot to gain some ground here on pit road by, just the lane and the line that you choose to take coming into your pit stall and on pit road in general here.
Absolutely. Hey, let's check out trivia question number 2. Of 4, let's give you another trivia question here. Type your answers into the chat. First 2 correct answers get the trivia points. 4 questions tonight. Most trivia points wins a Noah Gragson diecast. Question number 2. Which U.S. route passes through Martinsville, Virginia? Is it U.S. Route 58, U.S. Route 66, U.S. Route 1, or U.S. Route 101? And you can see the leaderboard, Aaron Smith and Lions Racing, both with a point apiece. Let us know what the correct answer is for question number 2 here in the chat. Which U.S. route passes through Martinsville, Virginia? What U.S. route passes through Martinsville, Virginia? We're going to leave this up on the screen for we'll take it away at the end of the caution. Get your answers in the chat right now. We got someone chiming in. Joshua Gillen gets his answer in. See if we can get any other answers in right now. Aaron Smith and Lions Racing atop the leaderboard. We got Connor in with an answer. Still about a lap and a half until we get back to the green flag. Chris, have you ever been to Martinsville?
I have not, but it's one of the tracks that's on my bucket list. I've always wanted to go to a race here.
Well, we keep on saying that. Let's do it in the next couple of years.
I would say this track's almost like Wrigley, Fenway. It's
I would agree.
It's like one of those types of tracks. It would just be cool to experience the environment.
Hey, it would be cool to experience the environment. It would be even cooler to win a race at Martinsville. They've taken the choose. Chris, interesting call here. Robert McKay starting on the outside. That last time, I'm looking, did he take tires? He might have stayed out. Evan Janik took the inside there. Alex Pollock on the outside. Pace car is off. McKay takes the green flag. Big jump for McKay on that start, Chris. Janik in the 84 of Jacob Cochran left in the wake. Look at how old those abused tires are. They're feeling real bad right now for Robert McKay out front of the field with very, very old tires right now. I would have to imagine that 8 is going to hold up a couple cars behind him. Evan Janik and Jacob Cochran loving what they're seeing in the rearview mirror right now, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. While the field got a little bit jumbled up right there, they're able to get away right here. Robert McKay looks like he sort of found his footing a little bit, gotten up to speed right here. Adam Holston going to look to the inside, nothing doing down there. Meanwhile, Caleb Hunt tried to charge up the outside, but I think he's a little too high on the track right there.
Might might have used a little too much of those tires into turn number 3 and 4. Right now, Hunt up on the high side. Christian Barnes almost makes a little contact with him as they work their way off of turn 2 down the back straightaway. It's Barnes in that 27, the pole sitter. He's got the position, just trying to claw his way back into the top 10 right now, Chris. He's setting his sights on Gavin Henson in the 8th position. Barnes has had one of the fastest cars on the track, but you saw at that time by the fastest lap of the race, just run by Jacob Cochran in the 84, Chris, doing what he can to claw his way back into this. And several drivers throw a blanket over them, and it looks like finally Robert McKay is really out of the way of those super fast cars on the outside. I'm still trying to find out how Robert McKay got up there. I think he came down pit road, but I don't think he took tires, Chris.
Yeah, I think that you're right. I don't think that he took any tires, and no, I take it back. He did not come to pit road, Ellis. He did not come to pit road. It looks like he
that was his last stop. Yeah, that was the previous time, I guess.
Yeah, so...
McKay goes around. That might have been the 11 of Joshua Gillen, who got into him in turn number 2. I think we're going to still be under green flag conditions on lap 113. One car in the wall. Jewett, Gillen, sideways into turns 3 and 4. That will send us under the yellow flag for the 5th time tonight. And boy, Joshua Gillen had a wild ride there for a couple laps. We're going to try to see if we can't find out what happened to these guys watching the replay.
Yeah, this is right here. This is Gillen in the second incident, and yeah, it looks like he just cooked it in. Oh, and yeah, the 47 was spun around in front of him. That started with David Moyer, and I think that the 10 of Gillen was just trying to miss him there. Let's go back and see if we can figure out what happened to Moyer. Looks like right here is a little bit loose off of turn 2. Got it straight though, and yeah, just cooks it a little bit too hard. He's a little bit offline right there. Tags the right rear into the outside wall. The 10 spins around as well. Definitely could have been worse than that. Meanwhile, while that was going on, or actually before that was going on, we had the number 88 right here, Robert McKay, and I think he had the trouble first. We missed it a little bit here. We're going to go back. Oh, yeah, and it looks like the 10 was trying to sneak to the inside, outbrake him into turn 1, Ellis.
And that... So the 10, a couple laps in a row, struggles with maybe a little bit too much speed entering into the corners here at Martinsville. We mentioned that as being something to watch early on tonight in the pre-race coverage. And certainly enough, there's an example of one driver being the pinata, the other driver being the bat. And in this case, Robert McKay in that 88 was the pinata. Joshua Gillen was the bat. Chris, let's throw up that trivia question up on the board one more time before we reveal the answer. We'll do it up there for about 25, 30 seconds and let fans at home see trivia question number 2. Again, which U.S. route passes through Martinsville, Virginia? Is it 58, 66, 1, or 101? Those are your 4 options right now. We're going to leave it up for about 20 more seconds to get your answers in. Swap through those questions. Current points leaders, Aaron Smith and Lions Racing. Aaron Smith and Lions Racing. And Chris, I think we can go ahead and reveal the answer. There are 2 correct answers in the chat right now. It is U.S. Route 58. That's going to go to Connor Lyons and Steve Gill. Connor Lyons and Steve Gill. Those are the winners for that question. We'll put their points into the leaderboard right now. We're working our way under the 6th caution tonight. Lap 117 in the books. It's going to be Evan Janik, your leader. Adam Holston is going to be on the outside. Going to be getting ready for a restart in just a minute.
Pace car's going to peel off here, Ellis, and we'll see if Evan Janik can get just as good of a jump as he did last time. Now he's the control car.
Yeah, he's got the situation he wants. He got Adam Holston to his inside. Janik's done better work all night on that inside line. He's got him right where he wants him. Big jump for Janik, little sideways for both cars. It's going to leave the door open for Jacob Cochran down into the side of Alex Pollock. One car up the track, that's Joshua Gillen back there in the 11th position, or the 11th car, I should say. Right now, Evan Janik leads it. Jacob Cochran not too far behind. Dow, Chris, right to the inside, the left side of that number 8. How long are drivers going to put up with that number 2 running them up the track every single corner, Chris?
Well, I think that these guys are pretty, it seems like they're putting up with it pretty good so far. And it could just be, a situation where he's just having a little bit of trouble doing that. And, you just kind of watch those things and you learn those trends and those patterns. And so everybody's keeping a pretty level head so far. But, as we get closer to the end of this thing, who knows if they'll keep that up. One thing I'm a little bit surprised about, Ellis, or not surprised about, but that was really touch and go right there on that restart about the 8 maybe jumping before. The 5 has trouble.
5. Colby Luca shoots up into the turn 4 wall. Not sure what happened there, just lost control of it. We'll try to get a replay of what happened here, but it's definitely upset the final, or I suppose starting 6th on back. It's shaken up that running order, gave Alex Pollock an opportunity to get into the top 5. Christian Barnes working on the 6th position right now. He's back in town, Chris, looking to get back to the lead.
Yeah, Barnes charging up the inside right here, doing a nice job. He's keeping a real level head here tonight. He's had a little bit of adversity he's had to overcome, but he's done a really nice job. Gavin Henson moving up here into the 7th spot underneath Colby Luca. Luca might have some damage on his car. I think there was some contact to the outside wall.
That was a hard shot to turn 3 and 4 that Colby Luca took there. I think that 5, who's run in the top 5, top 6 all night long. I believe this was his first race of the season, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to look at my data. I don't think we've seen him all season. No, we have not. So in a really impressive start, almost gets in the back of Caleb Hunt there, Chris. Colby, one car sideways, that might be Derek Jewett. Caution is out. Two cars pile into him right at the start-finish line. I believe that was Joshua Gillen in the 77 of Zach White. And we kind of seen this. Martinsville is a narrow track. There's not a lot of room to get away. And a lot of cars just didn't lift on seeing a car in the front straightaway. A lot of cars looked like they mashed the throttle just a little bit and kept on going there as we watched the replay.
Yeah, we've seen the 45 struggle a little bit on corner exit all night. Looks like he's just spinning that right rear just a little bit too much. He locks it down right here, does a really good job. Unfortunately, Joshua Gillen cannot miss him. It hits him in the rear, and Zach White, just an innocent victim in that deal. Nowhere to go, unfortunately, for the driver of the 77.
Yeah, hard contact from that number 77 red, white, and blue machine. Had a decent run going over the course of the night. You mentioned it, Derek Jewett might be the driver that's had the most problems tonight with an ill-handling race car. We're going to be under caution for the 7th time tonight. Lap 126 of 175, just under 50 laps remaining at Martinsville, Chris, and they are going to go fast as we watch on board. Damage models come a long way in iRacing, and that number 77's hood speaks a testament to that. Right now, boy, that 45, Chris, get a shot. Can we get a shot of that 45 working his way around the track? Look at that thing. That is not how you want a car to look.
Not
driving
at all.
Around the track, doing a little bit of a crab walk down pit road right now is that 45, and that is it. As the youngsters say, that might be looking like it's stanced out, but I don't think that's the sort of stance you want right now if you're Derek Jewett, Chris. No cars other than the cars involved in that caution came down pit road that time. It's going to be a choose rule between Evan Janik and Jacob Cochran. Any driver try to maybe go to the outside and see if they can't swipe a few positions for free here as drivers get ready to come by the start-finish line about half lap and take that choose.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Caleb Hunt, maybe back in the 7th spot. We saw Gavin Henson do it earlier. Also, he's back in the 6th spot. I'm thinking about it because you have to imagine those, at least the top 3 guys are probably going to take the bottom here, and it looks like that's exactly what's happening.
Adam Holston, first car to go to the outside. He's going to have the 92 of Alex Pollock behind him starting in the 4th position here. So, yeah, you mentioned it. First 3-4 cars stay to the inside. Adam Holston, I believe 4th position, was the first one to jump to the outside. And it's showtime. You got 47 laps left, Chris. You have to take a bit of a gamble here if you haven't been able to find yourself in the top 2 all night. This could be your opportunity. Once you get up there, you never know what might happen. Holston's had speed for much of this season, and we're going to see what he can do here. That blue and purple machine of Adam Holston on the outside. Evan Janik's the control car on the restart. He's been good all night long. He's even better there. Big jump, 4 car lengths. Evan Janik puts between him and Jacob Cochran in the 2nd position. Holston on the outside in that number 8, Daniel Dow, working his way down to the inside. It's a 2-car battle for the 2nd position right now. Dow trying to get back into that, but it's Jacob Cochran and Adam Holston. Look at that. 3 cars on top of each other. Dow struggles off the corner just a little bit. They're working their way to lap 129. Holston gets
contact
up the track just a little bit. Contact between Holston and Dow. That's deja vu. Seen that happen multiple times tonight. Holston going to try to get back into that spot in front of Gavin Henson in the 39. He's got his work to do. Pollock sideways. Christian Barnes and Pollock collide down the front straightaway. 4 cars now involved. This will put us under caution once again on lap 131, Chris. That started with Pollock and Barnes down into turn number 1 as we try to maybe return to the scene of the crime. And what do they say, Chris? Cautions breed cautions.
Yeah, absolutely here, man. This is just what you come to expect here at Martinsville. Caleb Hunt to the inside of Christian Barnes. Yeah, Alex Pollock. Now Barnes working to the outside of Pollock, and Pollock gets up into the door of Barnes, gets him sideways right there, and there they go around. Several cars involved, just innocent victims.
That's your pole sitter, Christian Barnes, who had done yeoman's work to work himself back into the top 6. Probably going to be a race-ending crash right there. And Chris, looks like I think Jacob Cochran was going to have an issue there for just a moment. Looked like he was going to make a pit road fake and about clip the wall. trying to fake out maybe Daniel Dow to try to come down pit road. But top 8 remain unchanged, Chris. Or I should say top 8 all the way through 8th position unchanged. Looks like we're going to have a quick reboot. Fortunately, we are under caution. We will run this around a couple more times. And might be a good opportunity now to take a quick commercial break while we get things refired here and before we go green on lap 136. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hey partner, I'm Barry, your pocket crew chief, the very first AI-powered mechanic for sim racing. Got a car that's a little loose or tight? Just tell me how it's handling, and I'll whip up instant setup recommendations just for you. Want me to get even more precise? Snap a picture of your setup, and I'll fine-tune it to perfection. And hey, I'm not just about giving orders. I'll explain why every adjustment matters, so you can really understand your ride. I'll even teach you the science behind the setup. Ever wondered why the track bar is so important? I've got the answer. With Pocket Crew Chief, I'll make you smarter, faster, and race ready. So what are we waiting for? Let's build to win.
All right, technical difficulties, but that's not going to stop us from the radio-style call. Restart coming. It's Evan Janik and Adam Holston on the inside. Holston slow off the line. Evan Janik's going to get a great restart on the inside. It's the black and blue machine. Evan Janik wrapping that inside line around Martinsville. Looks like the 84 of Jacob Cochran almost makes contact with the purple machine of Adam Holston, that 8. That's a battle for the second position. Headed down into turns 3 and 4. Daniel Dow makes it a 3-car fight down to the inside. Holston dives a nose to the inside. Can he make a move on Cochran? No, it's about a car length separating second and third. Now second, third, and fourth have a car length between them. The biggest battle is 5th position. Gavin Henson and Alex Pollock working their way down into turns 3 and 4. Not going to happen there. Single file, top 10, working their way down the front straightaway. Evan Janik, great run right now. He has led much of the race, but he's got Jacob Cochran, one of the fastest cars on the track. That time Cochran was 3/100ths of a second faster in that blue and yellow Ghost Energy Swedish fish machine. He's chasing down Evan Janik, who's been fast all night, but not far behind. One car having connection issues behind them. Adam Holston in 3rd position. Chris, Adam took a good look at the lead when he chose the outside line for that restart. So far, I would say it's paid off. He went from 5th position all the way to 3rd, leapfrogging 2 cars for that number 8. So good job for Holston so far tonight. And I think you're back, Chris.
Yep.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm back. So, yeah, I apologize for these issues tonight. Not sure what's going on. Not losing connection, my internet connection, but we're just losing connection to the sim for some reason. So definitely apologize for the issues tonight for those of you who are watching.
Hey, we carry on just like these drivers have for 141 laps, 35 left in the books. They are going to go fast. And speaking of fast, Jacob Cochran has closed the door by just about 2 car lengths off the back bumper of that 71. That is a battle for the lead right now, headed down into turn number 1. That blue and yellow machine trying to chase down points, not points leader, but 6th in points, Evan Janik. And Jacob Cochran, I'm looking through my notes. This is the first race I think Jacob Cochran, Chris, has run this season. Am I wrong about that?
I don't think that you are. I don't think that we've seen him on the track at all this season as Daniel Dow and Adam Holston battle for the 3rd spot here. Definitely a great debut performance.
Great debut performance, and it'd be even better if he could get a win here with just 33 laps left. Great battle between Dow and Adam Holston for the 3rd position. Behind them, Alex Pollock and Gavin Henson doing battle. This is a battle for the 5th position. Gavin Henson all up in the back grill of Alex Pollock there. You see that heart rate, Chris, 125 beats per minute. It's go time. It's show time if you're Alex Pollock. Just trying to hold off Gavin Henson for 30 more laps or so. And right now doing a good job as they head down into turns 1 and 2. The lead remains stationary. It's about half a second back from Evan Janik to Jacob Cochran, that time by Daniel Dow in 3rd. You can see that battle right now, doing his best to try to hold off Adam Holston, who's had speed after starting on the outside in 2nd place on that restart. Holston doing an admirable job holding 4th position right now. Pollock starting to close the gap on them just a little bit. Pretty much everyone is single file, but this Gavin Henson Alex Pollock battle, it's got a look to it, Chris, and I don't know if I like the look right now.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's a recipe possibly for something about to occur right here. Oh, we got trouble. Looks like Jewett is around right in front of these guys.
Once again, I think we're going to get it going. Jewett is going to bring out the caution now for the 8th time tonight. And I thought we might be able to get it going there, but Derek struggles to get it throttled back up, rolls over some of the rumble strips in turn 2 there. And, boy, we had a nice little run going for the first half of the race, Chris. What happened?
Yeah, just like, it's go time now, Ellis. Everybody was kind of riding around for a while, and I think that it's Derek probably decided it was best to make himself as predictable as possible there and just stop his car. So that's probably a good move on his part.
I think that's probably a good plan for tonight based on some of the cautions we have seen. And I think right now, I'm just looking at the timing chart. I don't think anyone is... Yeah, they're coming down pit road. Evan Janik is going to bring them down. This likely, I just can't imagine they're going to come down again after this. Fuel will not be an issue. They're going to put on their final set of tires right now. Does anyone chance it and try to take 2 tires and get out of here in the lead? We're going to find that out. One car, Christian Barnes might be. Oh, sorry, that's the pole sitter. He's got the first stall. I thought we were going to see Christian Barnes take a little bit of a gamble there, but no surprises here. Evan Janik going to come off in the lead. It's going to be Jacob Cochran 2nd, Daniel Dow 3rd, Adam Holston's going to be 4th with Alex Pollock right behind them. Let's take a moment and let's hit trivia question number 3, Chris. Let's hit trivia question number 3. Live leaderboard, I believe, for trivia should be updated at this point. 4 drivers or 4 fans, all with 1 point apiece. 2 questions left to settle this. Question number 3 on the screen right now. Question is, which industry has significantly shaped Martinsville's economic history? Is it textile manufacturing, automotive production, technology, or steel manufacturing? Let us know what the answer is to that question. Which industry has significantly shaped Martinsville's economic history? Let us know what your correct answer is in the chat. Right now, it's a 4-way tie atop the leaderboard. Even if you haven't gotten in trivia yet, you still got 2 questions, 2 opportunities to get 2 points. you can do it. You can get that Noah Gragson diecast right now. They're trying to get a win. And Chris, Alex Pollock took advantage of the choose rule. He's going to be starting on the outside of row number 1 in that bright purple machine, the number 92. That heart rate's probably going to climb just a little bit here in a minute. We'll leave that trivia question up for just a couple laps for folks at home to watch as we get ready for a restart. Right now, Evan Janik going to be leading them on the inside. Daniel Dow, Chris, if I'm Evan Janik, I'm waiting for Dow to make that move. It's go time right now. Janik's been the master of restarts all night long. He's going to have to do it again here. Great restart for Janik. Dow gets underneath Pollock. He moves to second. Pollock on that outside doing what he can to hold off the rest of the field. Christian Barnes gets a big old push from Adam Holston to the back bumper. It sends him careening up in front of Caleb Hunt for the 5th position right now. They are going, Chris. Go time has begun for these drivers as they cross the line down the front straightaway into turn number 1.
Yeah, we see Christian Barnes right there cutting to the inside right there, trying to get right in front of Adam Holston, and he managed to do that. Caleb Hunt up the hill. He's got under pressure right here from Gavin Henson. Henson's going to make that pass and move up into the 6th spot.
Henson has been looking good all night long, Chris. He's shown a lot of speed as the evening has gone on, but also as the season has gone on as he chases down Adam Holston into turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Single file top 10. Get your answers into the chat for the trivia if you haven't already done it. Several answers already in the chat right now. 5 guesses on the board for fans at home. Competing for a Noah Gragson Wendy's beef. Where's the beef diecast? Douglas Wisaki, thanks for joining the chat for the first time. Glad you are here tuning in and watching. Evan Janik is your leader. Daniel Dow second. Alex Pollock third. Christian Barnes is, Chris, up to 4th. Christian Barnes done a good job getting back into it here. A lot of hard work. I thought he was out of it when he had that caution just a couple laps ago.
Yeah, very nice recovery for him. He's overcome all kinds of adversity tonight. Looking to the inside right here of Alex Pollock. The 92 slipping up the hill just a little bit right there in turns 3 and 4. If I'm Christian Barnes, maybe wanting to take advantage of that. Maybe if he does it again down here on the same end of the track.
All right, I think it's time to reveal the answer to the trivia question. Drum roll, please. Which industry significantly shaped Martinsville economic history? That is textile manufacturing. And my feelings aren't hurt if you didn't listen to the opening of the of the race. I said it in the pre-race little history rundown, but Doug Wisaki got the answer correct. Good job, Doug. We got one more question coming here at the end of the race, so stay tuned. One last opportunity. Chris, it's going to be a 5-way tie. Someone can break the tie in the final trivia question, or someone might be able to get themselves in to a situation where we might have to draw a random winner if everyone's tied. So either way, you still got a shot. Make sure you answer that last question. Right now, watching the battle for the 4th position, now 3rd position, heat up. Chris, Alex Pollock has impressed me all night long in that number 92. He's done a lot of work. He had quite a few adventures last week at Circuit of the Americas, but ended up finishing, I believe, in the 8th position, got a top 10. If you look at his graph of the season, it's been up, down, almost like his heart rate monitor has probably been tonight.
Yeah, it has, and he gets a little bit loose right there off of turn 2. Oh, and he's going to charge inside of Daniel Dow. A very aggressive move.
My gosh.
Dow's around.
Christian Barnes turns Dow around. Can Dow save it? We're still good, but the caution has come out for what I don't think was an incident, but could we call it an incident? We're under yellow either way.
I'm pretty sure they thought, like we did, that was going to be a crash right there, and man, somehow they kept it straight. Great job by Daniel Dow, Christian Barnes. We'll go back right here to sort of, take stock of what occurred right here. And it looks like, and I think that we're going to have another crash, unfortunately.
It's all good. I will call it on my own here as we get rebooted. Some technical difficulties tonight have struck. We think it's our timing and scoring software that might have a slight issue with it. We'll be checking in with our friends over at ATVO about that. But in the meantime, let's see if we can't figure out what happened to Christian Barnes. He got underneath. Sorry, Alex Pollock got underneath Daniel Dow in that number 2 and had a bit of a moment. Daniel Dow came back up the track, and then they collided with Christian Barnes to bring out what wasn't actually a caution, but it was probably going to be a caution if those drivers didn't display an incredible amount of skill down the front straightaway. Right now, drivers working their way down the back straightaway. We're getting set for a Saturday night 10-lap shootout. I don't think we're going to see any drivers come down pit road. To paint the picture for you, it's been 165 laps of hard-nosed racing here at Martinsville. We've had 8 cautions. We've had near misses. We've had hard crashes. We've had fast cars. Evan Janik is your leader in that black and blue AmSoil machine in that 71. Alex Pollock, the story of the night, after starting back in the 17th position. The purple machine is up to the 2nd position. We're going to see where he chooses to restart. Daniel Dow, we've seen him not be afraid to give the chrome horn all night long in that number 2. Almost fell victim to that same treatment here just 2 laps ago. He's in the 3rd position. Christian Barnes has held on to the 4th position, a pole sitter after struggling early on in the race with a crash where we thought was going to put him out of it. He's back up to the 4th position. Adam Holston, who's been a consistent driver all night long inside the top 5, he's in 5th. We've seen him take the choose rule to the outside, and it looks like Christian Barnes from 4th is going to be the first car to take the high line. He's going to start 2nd on the outside, getting ready for the restart here. Video is going to be up momentarily. Christian Barnes from 4th position is going to be on the outside for this restart right alongside Evan Janik. And Christian Barnes started from the pole tonight. He's got the speed. Is that car in the shape to get to the lead and maintain it? Pace car is going to pull off about half a lap away. Janik pushing the 27 up the track a little bit. Maybe a little bit of an intimidation tactic from Janik, the 27, the silver and blue car of Christian Barnes. Doesn't look intimidated. Restart zone is happening. Evan Janik takes off by 3 car lengths. Great restart for Janik. That's been the story of the night. It might be what wins him this race. Alex Pollock and the purple machine side by side with Barnes. That's a battle for 2nd as they head down the back straightaway. Caleb Hunt right behind them. Pollock runs Barnes up the track just a little bit. It's going to be enough to get the position. Barnes is in trouble with 2, 3, 4 cars going underneath him down into turn 1. Holston going to be the next one to try to take advantage. Janik, 10 car lengths out in front of this, is off to the races. Just 8 laps, now 7 laps to go. Will Alex Pollock have anything to say about this? Or can Evan Janik, who has finished 2nd in the last 2 races, get his first win of the season and place himself in the conversation for the title fight in Mystic Racing League's Xfinity Series here in race number 6? He's got to worry about Alex Pollock. 1 car sideways. That's the 10 of Joshua Gillen, as well as the 88 of David McKay. Also, the fastest car of the night, Jacob Cochran, sideways on the backstretch. Multiple cars, Chris piling up here.
Yeah, it looks like it. We got back just in time for this caution right here, so we'll see if we can figure out what occurred.
And I can say that 2 cars have the meatball flag, the Cochran Mobile and Robert McKay in the 88.
Go back right here and see. We'll follow Robert McKay right here. And I'm not sure if... Okay, yeah, looks like we missed it just by a little bit right here. Yeah, we'll follow Jacob Cochran. Yeah, it looks like maybe it started with him. Oh, yeah, some contact from Henson right there. It's going to turn that 84 around. And, yeah, unfortunately, Derek Jewett nowhere to go. And gets collected in that deal.
And we've seen Gavin Henson. He's been out of the conversation in terms of contact all night long, but it's go time with just less than 10 laps to go. Chris, I'm pretty sure we're getting ready for a green-white checkered finish here. I think that is where we're going to be headed. And this is going to be big, Chris. Does Alex Pollock stay on the inside, or does he go to the outside? I think you're better off, if you're going for the win, I think you're better off being on the inside right behind Evan Janik. The question is anyone willing to use that front bumper to maybe move Janik out of the way? They'll have to deal with him in post-race, but it might be worth doing it to get that win. We got overtime coming up here momentarily, and I don't think we're going to see anyone pit. Chris, I think we should go ahead and run the final trivia question of the night while we are waiting to see the outcome of this race. Question number 4 going to appear on the screen Get your answers in. It's a 5-way tie atop the top of the leaderboard. Final question of the night. What's the name of a well-known annual event celebrating Martinsville's local culture? Is it Martinsville Heritage Festival, Martinsville Music Fest, Martinsville Food Expo, or Martinsville Art Carnival? Which is the name of the annual event celebrating Martinsville local culture? It's a big deal around there. Chris, choose rule has happened. Christian Barnes, the pole sitter, is second place. Comes from the 4th position up to second place here. He's going to be starting on the outside. This is going to be interesting. We'll put that trivia question back up in post-race. Right now, let's focus on this finale. Green-white checkered headed your way. 2 to go when they cross the line. Janik on the inside, Christian Barnes on the outside. Janik's been getting great restarts all night long. He's going to have to do it one more time, and he does. Janik gets off in a hurry. Christian Barnes is going to have a door open to potentially slide in and get second place. Will we see any driver turn another here in the closing stages? Christian Barnes has a fast car, Chris. He is in striking distance. 1 car length, now half a car length, a bumper, several cars sideways. Can they gather it back up? They're going to let him race back to the line potentially. Maybe they won't throw a caution. Christian Barnes is going for it. White flag is out. This is it. They're racing to the line. I think Janik now with 4 car lengths back might have it. Can Barnes do anything? He drives it hard into the corner. Evan Janis going to wrap around turn 4. Second, now first. His first win of the season in that number 71. Evan Janik wins at Martinsville. Christian Barnes second. Alex Pollock is going to hold on for 3rd position with a very high heart rate. Chris, I think we might see that heart rate might be one of the highest we've seen so far this season.
Yeah, he was definitely on the wheel right there in the final laps. And, man, great performance tonight by Evan Janik. Dominant all night, and he finally gets in victory lane, Ellis. He's definitely had the speed all season, and he finally put it together tonight.
Yep, it had been, I thought we were going to see it at COTA last week. Had a penalty that really cost him the race, but second at Auto Club in a thriller by a nose loss to Bobby Rafferty. Second to Bobby Rafferty last week at Circuit of the Americas. We watch him do that burnout right now on the front straightaway in that 71. We're going to hear from our top 3 drivers, but before we do so, one last chance for the trivia question. We asked you, what's the name of a well-known cultural event celebrating Martinsville's local culture? It's a big deal in that town. Is it the Heritage Festival, Music Fest, the Food Expo, or the Arts Carnival? Which is the name of the well-known annual event in Martinsville? Let us know your answer while we work on getting the top 3 into the interview booth. All right, let's see if we can get Alex Pollock in here. Hey, Alex Pollock, this is Ellis and Chris in the Slingshot booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you guys doing?
Hey, man, it's great to talk to you. We were watching that heart rate all night long. Congratulations on that 3rd place finish. You were up to 140 at the end of the race. We thought we were going to have to send a doctor over.
133 at one point. I didn't know it got to 140, but geez.
Yep, that last lap was wild. You held on to a 3rd place finish, though. Man, it was a wild night. You had a couple share of your own moments. What was the biggest challenge out there tonight? What do you think caused the amount of cautions we had?
I think going into the end of the stages, all of our tires were kind of just balding at that point, so it was hard to come out of the turn without getting loose. So I think that caused a lot. And then just, it's Martinsville. There's bumping, a lot of bumping. You got to be able to save it if someone bumps you, and sometimes that doesn't happen. So that's short track racing for you.
Short track racing it was, man. You got any hurt feelings? You got any rivals headed into next week?
No, I don't think I made anyone tonight. I have a couple rivals from previous things, but nothing tonight. I think everyone raced around me pretty clean for the most part. I don't remember anything off the top of my head, so it's a good night for the 92 machine.
Hell, man, it was a great night. We appreciate you wearing that heart rate monitor and letting us check in with you and see your vitals throughout the race. Before we let you go celebrate that podium, first one of the season, got any shout-outs?
Yep, shout out to the 5-star racing team. Evan won, so great finish there. We got 2 podiums. Adam Holson was running top 5 there. I think he got spun on the white flag lap or something. Something happened to him. So shout out to the team. Shout out to 9222 Designs, my design team. I make a lot of the schemes on the racetrack that you saw tonight. So send me a message if you're interested in me making you a design. Oh, and shout out to Slush Puppy. I know you love the Slush Puppies.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I'm thirsty for a slush puppy after this one. I'm sure you are as well.
I need one.
Go, yeah, man, enjoy it. Good job. You deserve a slush puppy after that third place finish. Have a good night, Alex Pollock.
Yep. Have a good one, guys. Thanks.
You too. All right, so that was Alex Pollock, and while we ride around with him, I don't think we should make people wait anymore, Chris, for the answer for the trivia question.
All right, let's do it.
The answer to what is the name of the well-known annual event celebrating Martinsville local culture? No one got the correct answer. It was actually Martinsville Heritage Festival. The Martinsville Heritage Festival was the correct answer. Now, here's the deal. With that, we have to choose a random winner because we had 5 folks with 1 point apiece on the leaderboard. Oh, Steve Gill Steve, you didn't have to do that because we already drew the random name and you won. Okay, we chose from those 5 folks with 1 point apiece. Steve Gill, you are the winner tonight. And when we click this, it might not show you as the winner, but it's going to put our email up on the video screen for you to send us an email with your address. We will send a diecast out to you, a Noah Gragson Wendy's diecast, absolutely free of charge. We just got to know the address to ship it to. You can email us there. Aaron, you didn't win. I'm sorry, buddy. Steve
sorry,
Gill,
Aaron.
you are the winner. But ssracingleagues@gmail.com. ssracingleagues@gmail.com. If you didn't get it, you can go back and watch the replay and get it from us there. Good job, Steve Gill. Appreciate you joining us for the first time this season. With that, we are going to go ahead and check in with the second place finisher tonight, and that was Christian Barnes, and I'm sure he's got some thoughts. I'm ready to hear him, Chris. He's in the broadcast booth now.
Oh, hang on 1 second. I think we got the winner in here, Ellis. I think we need Christian Barnes.
Oh, that's
in
right.
here.
Yep, my bad. Good call. Did it again. All right, Christian Barnes, you're finally in here.
Our second place finisher tonight. This is the Slingshot booth. You got a copy?
Yep.
Man, Christian, I think that tonight, Ellis and I were talking about it all race. It seemed like every single time we saw you, you were like a pinata out there tonight, just getting knocked sideways and dealing with all kinds of adversity. How'd you overcome it tonight to finish second?
I just had to have patience, control my temper a little bit. It's real easy to get upset with these types of tracks, especially short tracks, when things don't go your way. So I just had to stay in it, keep fighting, and towards the end, I was able to, make the right choose, and I was able to get back up there.
Yeah, you did a nice job overcoming all of that. And, when we did see green flag racing, and we saw our fair share of green flag racing tonight from you guys, what was the car driving like? Was it typical Martinsville fashion where it was pushing in the center of the corner and maybe sliding the tires up off?
Honestly, my car felt good. It was like through the corner, it was a little bit loose, but towards exit, I mean, I was able to, keep the throttle, at the right spot, and I was able to get off. I was taking it real easy the first stage because you don't want to, overdo it and put yourself in trouble. And once the second stage came, it was just the same thing. Just take it easy, log some laps, try to keep up with the 71. He was definitely the class of the field. But 2 cars, I believe, wrecked in front of me, and I had to get into the wall to avoid from wrecking. So from then on, the rest of the second stage, part of the third stage, I was having to fix over a minute of damage for that. But once it was fixed, I was able to start going back to the front, and unfortunately, I made a mistake. I guess got clipped a little bit, and I tried to throttle up and spun myself out. So after that, I just had to, again, not do that again and get back up there, and yeah, car felt great.
Well, man, you did a great job overcoming everything all night and just digging away all race long. Before we let you go celebrate this second place finish, you got any shout outs?
Shout out technically 2 so-called teammates, not official, but Chad Allen and Zachary King. Those two guys are technically teammates, but so.
All right. Well, hey, man, that's a great finish tonight. Great second place run. That's Christian Barnes, our second place finisher tonight. Great run out there.
Thank you very much.
All right, Evan Janik. This is Ellis and Chris in the Slingshot booth. You got a copy.
Yep, gotcha, guys.
Congratulations, man. Bridesmaid past 2 weeks. Tonight, you are the winner, taking the crown here at Martinsville. It's gotta feel good. What's your emotion right now compared to the last two races?
Yeah, definitely feels good to get to win the Xfinity Series. So I'm locked into the playoffs for Xfinity and Cup now. Yeah, it's a good feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. I know disappointment at Auto Club and certainly in the running last week at Circuit of the Americas. Fast car penalty kind of cost you the race there. Tonight, you didn't put a foot wrong all night long. You led the majority of the race. What was the key to you having speed over the course of these long runs tonight, man?
Just managing my stuff. Just keep looking at the gap in the mirror, and every time I got a little bit of a lead, I just let off a little more just to make sure I had tires for the end. The key was just not to hit everybody in front of me that was sitting sideways on the track.
Man, you made it look fairly easy out there. You made it. There was one close call, and I want to confirm this is what happened. I think it was the 9 that crashed, and you had to slow down to avoid it. And the 84, I believe, was able to get by you to take the lead. Cochran had a fast car tonight. Was that what happened?
Yeah. I didn't even hear it from my spotter, who's usually pretty good. All of a sudden, I come off of turn 4, and there's the 9 sitting across the track. So I had to lock him up and ended up getting past, but got him back on pit road.
Yeah, didn't impact the race at all for you. Ended up winning regardless. Fast car tonight, man. We're headed to Las Vegas next week. You think you're going to have some speed there?
Oh, I think so. I think everybody at 5-Star Racing is going to bring speed there. We've been gaining a lot of speed in the last couple of races. But me personally, I love Las Vegas, so we're getting into a good part of the schedule for me.
Awesome, man. Well, win tonight at Martinsville. You're locked into the playoffs. You're going to be fast next week. You've been on a tear lately. Before we let you go celebrate this win and get some rest, you got any shout-outs?
Well, thanks to 5-Star Racing and everybody there for believing in me and adding me to their team. Thanks to superoilpros.com for their support and sponsors. And thanks to everybody watching at home.
Awesome, man. We appreciate you racing and showing up and putting on a good show every week. Evan Janik, winner tonight at Martinsville. Enjoy.
Thanks.
Chris, this race had a lot. It delivered every single which way we thought it would. Fast cars, bump and runs, crashes. A few pinatas get hit by some bats out there tonight. Made some good, interesting replays, but Evan Janik survives the evening in race number 6. He's going to vault up into the top 5, likely in the point standings. He locks himself into the playoffs here at Martinsville. We're headed to Las Vegas next week. How much difference is it going to be there than what we saw tonight?
It's going to be very different. Different type of race, different type of mentality that you got to carry into Las Vegas next week compared to this week. A little bit more conventional style racing like we'll see next week at Las Vegas. So definitely looking forward to seeing these drivers out there next week, mixing it up, and hopefully we'll have all of our technical issues squared away by next week.
We will have all our difficulties squared away. And we're going to go through these drivers and see who had difficulties tonight and didn't get them squared away. Hopefully they do next week. We talked to the top 3, Janik, Barnes, and Pollock finishing in the top 3. Jacob Cochran with a 4th place finish, Chris. Caleb Hunt 5th. That 84, that Cochran mobile was fast tonight. He doesn't have really, I don't think the finish shows the speed. I think he was a 2nd place or lead car all night long. Ran into some trouble late in the race. Alex Pollock, hell of a job. We talked to him in the interview. Caleb Hunt, we saw that 78 struggle early on in the race, Chris, but he got it together and figured it out for that 5th place finish. Gavin Henson didn't put much of a foot wrong all night long. I think one car he had some contact with late in the race might say differently. David Moyer finished 7th. Zach White with an 8th place finish. Joshua Gillen 9th. Adam Holston finished 10th. Again, that 7th through 10th, they just gritted it out all night long, Chris. and got the finish ultimately with those top 10s at the end of the night.
Yeah, they did. Definitely great performances out of them all night, and way to persevere on a night where it's very, very easy just to want to pack it in and just like if things go wrong. I can't get over like Christian Barnes. I don't know how many times I saw him getting hit in the door sideways, spun around, but he persevered and he brought it home second. And it's same is true for a lot of these guys here in the top 10.
Absolutely. That's your top 10. 11th through 20th, Daniel Dow, man. That car was the top 4 car all night, had difficulty late in the race, and I think had a little bit of contact that might have sent him sideways, cost him a top 10 finish. Reggie Kime finishes 12th. Robert McKay survives the night for 13th. Derek Jewett, we saw him have plenty of adventures over the evening, but he's at home with a top 15 and 14th. Colby Luca, that does not show the speed that 5 car had all night long. Chris, he finishes 15th. Brandon Willard survives in 16th. David Wallace, an early victim of attrition, 17th. Joey Beam as well, out early in the race along with Devin Lyons. And Stephen Gill is going to be here next week to race. He's just scoping out the competition tonight from 20th. I don't think we saw him on the track. He'll be back next week at Las Vegas to fight for a win. It's going to be a wild race. If you thought tonight was wild, amp up the speeds by about 60, 75 miles an hour next week at Las Vegas, where they'll be headed upwards of 200 miles an hour into the corner. We're going to see 2 wide racing, 3 wide racing. We're going to see pack racing. It is going to be wild from Las Vegas next week. We hope you will tune in for race number 7 of Mystic Racing League's Xfinity Series from Martinsville, Virginia. We'll see you folks next week in Las Vegas. It's Ellis and Chris for Slingshot Racing Media. Have a good week, folks.